Good morning, welcome back to Homestead on the Rock. My name is Tom and today I am on a mission. I need lots of compost. So come on in and I'll explain the situation. My little homestead is basically empty, which means I need to start planting and growing a lot. But unfortunately right now, I still don't have any compost. So what is the solution? Turning this, my new chicken run, into a compost making machine. And of course, I want to try to make this compost for free, because later on, I still have to build a house over here. But more about that in a future video. Today, I'm making the chicken coop compost machine maker automatic chicken entertainer chicken feed 3000 automatic pro. I have very little experience on this topic. However, I did watch every single video on the internet about composting with chickens prior to designing the system. If you are designing a chicken run, trying to make compost, or you in fact actually are a chicken, this video is for you. Welcome back to Homestead on the Rock. Okay, so the first part of this design and the first step for building this compost machine maker thingy-majiggy, I'm going to need to install a door here on the chicken run. This here is going to be the entry point for everything that I want to compost. 2. Actually, I'm just realizing that this will probably be a lot easier to build if I build it on a flat surface. Okay, moment of truth, does it fit? Ooh, it's a little bit tighter than I planned. I think what I'm discovering is that the square that I'm putting this square into is not a square. Much better. Look at that. I've chosen to go with this gate lock or latch because I just want it to be as easy as possible, a simple system, and I can just come, flick it over, throw stuff into the compost and chuck, close it again. It may not be the most fox-proof type of latch, but I'm hoping that foxes don't come up here very often. This area here is going to be where the bulk of my garden beds are and where I'm going to be collecting materials that need to go into my compost. So I need it to be super easy, and whenever I've got material that I want to throw into the chicken coop, it's a very functional location and easy to go give that to the chickens, close it up, and there we go. One of the great reasons that I decided to see this, I go in, and there we go. Pew, pew. One of the great reasons that I decided to do this is that it actually does save a little bit of space, and a little bit of space is a lot when you've only got a small homestead to work with. I could have my compost bays out there, but combining both the compost bays and the chicken run, it saves me just a little bit of space out there, but it doesn't take up any room here in the chicken run. In fact, I think the chickens actually would rather it be in here. Everything that gets thrown through the window is going to land right here in what I'm now going to build, which is going to be called Bay 1, the buffet bay. Anything that I'm going to compost, anything that could be food for the chickens, right here in Bay 1, the buffet bay. I'm really excited about this because I really want to have happy chickens, and I think that all of that material coming through here every single day and loading up the bay is going to be a lot of extra food and a lot of extra fun for the chickens. Hopefully it will improve their diet, which is going to give us more eggs and a better quality egg, but it also might actually reduce the amount of money that we spend on chicken feed. Once this bay has filled up, I'll grab a shovel, shovel the materials out into Bay 2 right here, which is going to be called the Scratch, Sift and Play Bay. This contraption here is going to be the secret ingredient, I suppose you could say, for bay 2. It's just chicken wire that I fashioned into a ring, and this is going to go in the center of bay 2. The idea with the ring is that I will go around the bay, scooping up all the compost and piling it into this ring, and this ring will help hold it together and turn it into a bit of a mound in the middle. When chickens see a nice big mountain of compost, they know exactly what to do, and they'll come in here and they will sit on top and they will scratch, playing around with that, looking for bugs, looking for food, looking for anything that they can eat whilst scratching. And once it gets down, it's also going to be sifting my compost, pushing it out through the chicken wire. Now, I didn't come up with all of these ideas on my own. I didn't come up with this idea either. I'll put a few names on the screen here of YouTube channels that have actually helped me come up with this design. Every time that the chickens scratch this mountain all the way back down around the bay, I'll just come back, scoop it all up, pile it up into a big mountain, and it just makes me really happy knowing that the chickens have something to do. They have a job. Even us humans feel a lot happier when we have a job and something to do, and chickens are the same. So giving them a big mountain in here, and they can wake up in the morning and come out, scratch through that, looking for worms, looking for bugs and seeds. It'll keep them happy, it'll keep them busy, they won't be idle, and hopefully it makes for healthy chickens, and it helps speed up my composting process. Initially, when I designed this system, I was actually planning on having a third bay, because I thought a third bay would be necessary just to get one more process of sifting. If I had one more bay here for sifting, that would help break down the compost even more. But because my homestead is just grass at the moment, I don't have a large amount of material, of resources, compost, green waste, all that kind of stuff. I don't have a large amount to actually feed the system with. So I'm going to get as much material as I can and try to fill up this bay, but that might take me quite a while. And I'm thinking, because it's going to take me a long time to fill the bays, it's going to be a slow process. By the time it's been in this bay for a little while, it's probably ready to go straight out into the garden. So for now, I think 2 bays might be enough. There's still plenty of room over here for the chickens to run around. And if you're thinking that these compost bays are going to take up all the room, I think once we see the chickens in here playing around on those compost piles, we'll both know for sure that the chickens are glad it's in here. One day this thing probably will be 3 bays and pumping out a lot of compost. Now, I am very excited to actually just start making some compost. My goal is to start my veggie gardens, plant my trees, and feed this entire homestead for free. So I'm going to have to get good at collecting raw materials to feed this system and to generate that compost. Let's go see what I can find. All right, here we go. First deposit into the chicken compost machine, the chicken run. First negative I'll probably say is that it's a little bit high. When coming from the house with some leftover dinner scraps or whatever green waste we've collected, or just picked something from the garden and want to give the chickens a quick treat, I think this is going to be really good for that quick and easy access. But if there's a lot of stuff that I need to drop off, like a whole wheelbarrow load, for example, perhaps just parking the wheelbarrow a bit closer will be a lot more effective. Now all I need to do is hire a few chicken employees to get in there and start scratching and working away at the compost. If you want to see how much compost this system can actually generate, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I'm going to be documenting how it goes and if it's enough compost to feed my little homestead here. I'll put a little playlist up at the corner here so you can watch how I actually built this chicken run, but still plenty of more building to do around here. So that's the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And one last thing that I really like about this system is that once these bays start to fill up, when I'm standing back here, I'll be able to see the chickens on top of the bay scratching away rather than being hidden by the wood. Raise them up, see the chickens all day. Beautiful.